Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we're looking at the Mafex Batman figure from Batman v Superman. A lot of people have said this is a really good figure, and a lot of people have said Mafex figures have too many quality control problems. And I have to say they're both right. This figure exhibits both of those traits very well. So, I'll start off by saying it's probably the best looking BvS Batman figure to date. Nobody has put one out that's better. Of course, Hot Toys, when it comes out, will probably look better, but that's not a really fair comparison, so we're not going to worry about that. This guy beats Play Arts. This guy beats the Mattel stuff. Very nice looking figure overall. So let's get it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 6 5/8 inches, right around there, which makes him just shy of 17 centimeters. Very nicely sculpted. There's texturing throughout the entire thing, and it looks very good. Loads of clean sculpt work. Very happy. In terms of the overall look of the figure, it's really good. I think they need to broaden the upper torso just a little bit. In relation to the hips, it looks a little bit narrow. And then probably narrow down the neck and head just a tiny bit. But otherwise, it's very clean, very well done. I like the anatomy for most of everything, so very cool. Before we get into anything else, though, let's look at the accessories. He comes with the 2 fist hands, 2 gripping hands, 2 more gripping hands, and then 2 more gripping hands, all for various things you'll see when you mess around with the figure. 2 relaxed hands, and then 2 hands that look kind of like the victory or peace sign, but I assume those are for batarangs, or batarang singular, because we only get 1 batarang. We get 1 canister. I think that was one of the grenade canisters. Then we get the grenade launcher, not grenade, smoke canister. Then we had the grenade launcher and the grapnel gun. And then lastly, we have the acrylic display stand, which is similar to your standard import display stand. Pretty good amount of accessories, and the figure looks pretty good. So far we're doing pretty well with this figure. Here's one thing I'm not sure how I feel about: the cape. It is a cloth cape with a wire coming from the front all the way down to the back, and it doesn't look bad. I'm not sure how I feel about the material. It's that weird plasticky vinyl material that you would find on most Halloween costumes. It's maybe like a tablecloth material. It's kind of strange. It's not bad. I'm not sure you're going to have much use for it other than to just drape it over the shoulders, because you can't bring it around to the front. It's connected all the way back here. So you're not going to be able to bring it to the front to drape it that way. And I guess you can kind of just drape it up in the back, but it doesn't hold very well. So I'm not sure how much you're going to... Probably just like a windswept type of thing is the best you're going to get out of it. So if you want that, then that's a good thing. Otherwise, it's just going to hang in the back. And that's not bad, because plastic capes only do that too. So it's okay. I'm just not sure I love the material, but you can see it doesn't look bad. And then it's all like tattered up at the bottom. That's intentional. So that's okay. So I don't dislike it. I kind of feel like they should have had a stiffer wire and let it just come out of the front, so you can drape it around, like hang it over the shoulder like this, like Batman often does. But it's not bad. The wire definitely could be stiffer, but it's not a problem. In terms of the paintwork, the figure looks really good. He's got a little bit of a brownish hue here and there. You can see it on the chest a little bit, but it's not bad. It looks okay. The belt's painted really well. The gauntlets are painted nicely. The face is not bad, but it's not great. It's got a little bit too much gray on it, and it doesn't look quite like a 5 o'clock shadow, and a little bit more just like, I don't know, bruising? Something. It's not great. It's not terrible, but it's not great. The eyes look okay. In terms of the articulation, most of it's pretty solid. Some people had theirs break when they tried to move the lower torso, and mine was 100% stuck. I had to heat the crap out of this guy and then reach in there with pliers to hold the peg still so it wouldn't break, and then gently position the torso to free up. It's a big ball peg that comes out of the crotch, goes up into the torso. That's stuck on most people, and it does snap very easily. So I heated it, and then I reached inside the hips with some very fine needle nose pliers. I held the peg part of that ball peg in place so it couldn't snap, and then I wiggled this thing around until it freed up. So that's the biggest QC issue on this guy. So just be aware of that and be careful with that. So the head itself is on a ball peg, neck is also on a ball peg. Again, the neck is really thick, but you still get good range of motion, and it looks pretty good most of the time, so I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. For the shoulders, you have a ball peg where the arm connects to the torso. That's a good thing. We have a ball hinge for the shoulder, but the sculpt doesn't let the arm raise any farther than that, so that's a big bummer. he needs to be dynamically posed. He's Batman, and you can't raise the arm, so that's a big problem. You can rotate it, that's fine, but due to the sculpt, you can't raise it. Really, really disappointed in that. You do have your bicep swivel, that works fine. Double jointed elbow, that works pretty well. I like that. And then for the wrist, you have a ball hinge, so that's pretty standard. You have your ball peg in your upper torso, which works really well. It leans pretty far forward, really far back, side to side, just a little bit, not a ton, and of course it rotates. And then you already saw we have that big ball peg down here. Mine's still stiff, so again, be extra careful, but it leans pretty far back, pretty far forward, really far to the side, and it rotates. So torso articulation is really good if it's not frozen and or broken. We have hinged ball peg hips, just like your SH Figure Arts. So they come down, they can drop down, then you can rotate them forward. Not the best range because it throws the leg off to the side, but it works pretty well, so that's okay. It's just a ball socket. And you can bring the leg all the way out to the side that way, so that's a good thing. And then you can rotate your thigh around that socket. So the hips are really well done, and as you can see, they look good. They put them together really well. The lower body looks really good on its own, and the upper body looks really good on its own. You can see, though, if we zoom out just a little bit, the upper body looks probably a bit narrow considering how wide the hips are. It's not a huge deal. Once you get imposed, it won't really matter. For the knees, we have our double jointed knee, which works nicely. I like that. All of the joints are sculpted, so that helps this figure to look really good. And then we have our standard ball hinge for the ankle. So it goes a little bit back, a little bit forward, definitely could have better range. You can rotate it around to get your ankle rocker, so that's a good thing. And then we have a toe hinge, which is basically useless. So it's not a perfect figure by any means. Those shoulders are a problem. And then the head is definitely not as good as it could be, both in sculpt and paint. But still, it's a really solid figure, and I'm very happy with it. As much as it pains me to say I recommend it because of how badly Mafex treated me over my defective Meliodas figure, this is a really good Batman figure. And I think if you're a Batman fan, you should probably pick it up. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have new videos every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back. And in the meantime, keep collecting.